Welcome to the Fantasy Talk Show, where we interview characters from multiple fictitious realities, whether they be from historical fiction, realistic fiction, science fiction. We do all kinds of interviews. Today we will be taking on the fictitious peak Macbeth and her characters. We will be interviewing many of the prominent characters in the Macbeth franchise, if you will, as well as some of the lesser-known characters. Now I introduce you to the main character, Macbeth. So, what was your life like before the prophecy?
Before I became aware of the Witch of Prophecy, I fought in the battle against the Thane of Cawdor and was actually a good friend of King Duncan. I had a better relationship with my wife, and I had friends that trusted me.
Not so complicated or complex as life after the prophecy.
Well, life was good. I never had a thought of evil or greed until after I met the witches, and then after I met them, my life kind of turned into a nightmare.
What became of you after you learned of Banquo's prophecy?
I killed Banquo in fear, and I lied about it. My wife and I became twisted and corrupt with evil and greed. The witches told Banquo that he would have kings within his bloodline, so I became obsessed with becoming king. So I killed Duncan and sent 3 murderers to kill Banquo and his sons.
That's a good segue for me to bring in a new guest to the show. Come on in, you friggin' murderers.
Woo! Banquo, we two were together. We didn't attack them, but fleeing escaped. I had to kill Murder 1 and 2 because Macbeth was worried they might not get the job done. So, he hired me to rest assure his worries.
So Murderers 1 and 2, you are dead?
Yes, he killed the both of us to save Macbeth's back. We were just doing as Macbeth requested, but it seems he didn't have faith in us.
So, Murderer 3, how did you actually kill Lady Macduff?
When I saw Lady Macduff and her son, I asked them where Macduff was. Once they told me he was nowhere to be seen, I murdered her son. As she ran away crying, "Murder!" I caught up and offed her.
Well, I have a surprise for you. Come on in, Lady Macduff. Lady Macduff, do you have anything to say?
Life was a lot more fulfilling before it all happened. Before Macbeth became king, life also had a lot more meaning. I was also a lot happier before my children's lives were taken from me by the murderers.
It sounds like your life had a lot more meaning and was more fulfilling before Macbeth was king.
Life was very draining while Macbeth was in power. It was also torture when I had to watch my kids be murdered. I was really sad seeing my son get murdered in front of me, and then they came after me.
That sounds awful, Lady Macduff. I'm so sorry for your loss. Well, you and the murderers are about out of time on this plane of existence. Any final words for Macbeth?
We are sorry. We regret everything we have done. Speak for yourselves. I have no regrets.
I will see you in hell, Macbeth. I will soon be with my love Macduff in heaven.
Well, back to the man in the spotlight, Macbeth. Macbeth, do you have anything to say to those people that were just here? Do you care to redeem yourself at all?
Oh, yeah. I felt very powerful and confident that I would defeat Macduff. I believed that the prophecy was coming true and that I was going to be king because the witches said I would be. I was ready to die for myself and what I had done.
Wow, it really sounds like you are a man with no remorse. Does your wife feel the same way, though?
Oh, yeah.
Hello, sexy.
Nope. Anyways, did you feel guilt or remorse for your actions?
I was very satisfied after I killed Duncan. I did not feel sorry for him at all. Macbeth should have done it, but he was a coward, so I did it. However, after a long time, I started to go crazy.
Sounds like you had a rough time with Macbeth's prophecy.
Yes, I did.
Now, to bring in the man you and your co-conspirator helped kill, Duncan.
Macbeth. Lady Macbeth.
It sounds like you have some ill will towards the Macbeths.
That I do. After Macbeth became the Thane of Cawdor, he betrayed me. Him and Lady Macbeth were both in it to get me. Such fake people.
That sounds like some pretty rough stuff you've got going on there. Do you want to see how your sons felt about it?
see this coming, Father.
Truly we are.
Though I defeated Macbeth and took the rightful place as king, I'm still sorry, Father.
Macbeth, do you have anything to say to these people you've betrayed?
I have nothing to say or apologize for. I did what I did to become king, and I don't regret what I have done.
Macduff, would you have done anything differently?
No, I don't regret what I have done, and I never will.
It sounds like Macbeth took everything from you.
He took my family away from me. He took my wife and kids away from me. He took everything I had.
Well, any final words that you want the audience to hear?
I don't want to give Macbeth the satisfaction of an apology. I apologize for everything. Please take this guilt from me.
This show is not about making amends.
I wish my sons the best in their lives.
You too, Father. Thank you.
You too.
Well, Macbeth, that just leaves me and you. Do you have anything to say to only the audience?
You simply must do what you need to do in order to get what you want. And don't let people stop you.
Thank you. That was very insightful. That about wraps up our show. Thank you for watching the Fantasy Talk Show featuring Macbeth. Good night.
Woo!